And in our watch, we don't have an operating system, but the internal mechanics has designed the clock runs, right? So there is something which is responsible for running whole the process, right? Then similar way, we have a devices, we have a phone, we have laptops, right? So operating system is a program which is designed so to run all the hardware, right? So similarly, Android is an operating system designed for mobile, right? So we call it Android mobiles, and we will see like they will go more further in the Android introduction and features, release, Android architecture, what is Android Play Store, what is Android device, right? And Android application project structure. We will create a sample project and see the structure, right? And we will see what the Android manifest file is. So coming back to the Android introduction. So actually Android is based on Linux kernel, right? It is a Linux based operating system. So first of all, I want to discuss about the kernel, what the kernel is, right? So let's draw it. So this is our device. Let's assume this is our device. Maybe phone, it may be any other devices, right? It may be the Wi-Fi device which is installed in your home. It may be the device installed in your car, right? So it is a device, and let's assume it is a mobile, right? So in any device, we have a memory, right? So, and we have a operating system. And we have set of devices. Now, if I say set of devices, so that means we have a phone, and in phone we have a Wi-Fi device, we have Bluetooth device, we have a GPS device. All of them are installed inside our phone, right? Or not even in our phone, it may be installed in our laptops, right? So the set of devices, right? They are not going to run by its own, right? Because they are a sets of machine. So someone need who's able to instruct them, right? To when to run, how to run, right? So here's the right person, OS, who gave the instruction to run the device, right? Like you have started your Bluetooth, right? So you have clicked on a simple icon, right? The Bluetooth icon. Then who's going to start the Bluetooth? So you have given an action, or you have given an event, right? You have given an action, or you have given an event that assume to start a Bluetooth, and this event is sent to the OS. OS will see, okay, the event, right, or the action has been sent to start the Bluetooth. Then it will search for the Bluetooth device and run the Bluetooth device, right? So OS is responsible for, operating system is responsible for running the set of devices, right? Now let's come back to the kernel, what the kernel is. So in our operating system, we have a program known as a kernel. right, which takes a protected space in the memory. This, you can say, this is the space for the, this is the space for the kernel, right? This is the kernel space, and this memory design has been allotted for the kernel. And I say this is a protected. I will explain you what it means by protected. Okay, so we have OS. OS is responsible operating system. So operating system is responsible for running the devices. Devices may be a Bluetooth, it may be a Wi-Fi, it may be a GPS, it may be anything, right? Any device which is installed inside your phone, right? So when we when we give an action to start the GPS or anything, OS will do it. But who is kernel now? Kernel is a set of program which is written, right, and it operates the OS, right? And kernel has its own memory area. See, everything we do, right, we run a set of program, right? Then where the program is going to run. If I give an example, if you're using the mobile, then if we say, okay, the RAM is 1 GB, so the mobile is not going to run well, right? It is going to be sluggish, it's going to be hang. And when we use 2 GB RAM, it is more better than 1. Now if I'm going to use the phone with a 8 GB, it is going to, the RAM is 8 GB, the phone is going to be run too fine, right? So what it means? It means whenever we compile any program, when I say compile any program, it means whenever OS say, okay, Bluetooth, you run, right? So Bluetooth have a set of instruction, the code is there, right? The instruction is there. So instruction is going to run where? It's going to run on the memory, right? So the more memory is there, the phone is, the more memory is, the memory responsible for the phone speed, right? Because if you are going to run like at the same time, I'm going to run the Bluetooth, I'm listening a song, right? Or I'm using some other, like I'm using the GPS tracker, right? I'm using these three functionality at the same time, right? So at the same time, we need a separate memory area, right? Because we have, like if I give an example, if I have a program A, program B, and program C, I have this memory area, right? I resume the program A, and this is my program B, this is my program C. Resume program A may be a Bluetooth, program B may be a sound player, program C may be a GPS device, right? So I'm running the three programs at the same time. I have a memory slot. This is my memory slot, right? So this program A will run on the same memory area. This program B is going to run on the same area. This program C is also going to run on the same area, right? But our operating system will give the memory space to them, right? It will say, okay, A, you go and run this, go and take this memory area. Then operating system will allot, okay, B, you are going to run, okay, take this memory area. C, you are going to run, okay, take this memory area, right? So if I create some more programs, right, I create some more programs here, then all of them are going to occupy these memory areas, right? So at a time come when this memory area get filled up, right? At that time, your phone is going to be hang, right? Your phone is going to be slow down, right? So this is the concept of the memory, and in our phone we have a limitation in the memory, right? Because in your laptops or in your computers, we don't have the limitation in the memory, right? We have a limitation in the memory, but as compared to the mobile, this limitation is quite greater. So in mobile, while we code and while we design the application, we should keep in mind that our application is not going to consume too much memory, right? So coming back to this and coming back to the kernel. So kernel is the person who decide the if I'm going to start a uh, Bluetooth, right? So Bluetooth is going to on. So kernel is the person who gives the instruction to the OS, right? Who uh, who decide the memory area for the Bluetooth program. Let's assume this A is a Bluetooth program. So kernel is the person who decide the memory area uh, for the Bluetooth program, and not only the Bluetooth, for every program, kernel is the person who, or kernel is the set of code who decide uh, where the program where to allot the memory for the program, right? And kernel self-written is in a protected memory area. Whenever I say protected memory area, it simply means the memory area allotted for the kernel can't be accessed by any other program, right? In this case, right? In this case, I have memory area for A. This is for A. This is for B. This is for C, right? And this is for this program. This is for this program, and this is for this program, right? So it may be possible that if this memory area is allotted to the A, right? This whole memory area is allotted to the A, but at a piece of time, let's say A is not using this memory, right? Let's assume that A is not going to use this memory. So it may be possible that if B required this memory, then operating system can allot this memory to the B, right? So it depends on the use of the A. If A requires much memory, then if the memory is available from any other program, then memory will be allotted to the A. But this is not with the kernel. The memory area allotted to the kernel can't be accessed by any other program, right? So this memory area which is allotted to the kernel can't be accessed by any other program, and so we called it as a protected, right? And kernel is the set of code which instruct OS, right, to run which driver, right? You have get the action. If I say that the action or the event is come directly to the OS, it's not right, right? You can say the instruction or the events comes to the kernel, right? Kernel decides the memory area, and kernel asks the OS, okay, this instruction is for the Bluetooth, run the Bluetooth program. Okay, if I run the if I on the camera, then kernel takes the input, right, and say, okay, this instruction is for the camera, run the camera program, right? And kernel decides, okay, take this memory, right, and take this memory for the camera, take this memory for the Bluetooth. So this is the kernel. And Linux operating in our Linux operating system, we have only one kernel. We decide like we have only one kernel, or you can say that we have only one protected area which decide which decide the execution of the programs, right? So it is virus free, right? So in a Linux kernel, any virus, any self-executable file can't be run. Whenever I say self-executable file, it means if you have been used Windows operating system, then you must be aware about the viruses, right? So virus, Trojan, right? So these are the program which are able to execute by their own, right? So even if you are not going to, like, if you put a pen drive, so it may be possible that the program has been installed on the memory area of the uh, pen drive, and when you put your pen drive on your laptop, this program copies into your laptop's memory, and it will execute by itself, right? But this is not possible with the Linux kernel, because Linux has only one kernel with decide, because Windows has don't have only one kernel. Windows has many kernels. So these types of program can attack the Windows, but in Linux we have a one kernel which is a protected and will decide which program should run, and which decide the memory area for the kernel, memory area for the programs, right? So coming back to our point, a software platform and Linux kernel based operating system for mobile, right? So now think you are clear from this line. We have a software platform, like Android is a software platform, and Android is a software because the operating system is a software. So this is a software and means Android is a software which based on the Linux kernel, right? And it is for the mobile. So any question, guys? Okay. Okay, so who's going to answer my question? Robin. Robin, can you tell me what the kernel is?
The kernel has a set of instructions that will be used to for like various devices to operate on like GPS and Bluetooth and all, and it gives the instruction to the OS so it can make that particular part of the device operate.
Right. Okay, good. So Varun, can you tell me what the kernel is?
Yeah, kernel is the master of the system, where it gives instruction for other devices how to run and what to run. And it has its own space.
Okay, great. Okay, guys. So moving forward, if any, I think anybody don't have any question. Okay, so let's move forward. So Android is open source, mean it is made freely available and may be redistributed and modified. Whenever we say open source, it means let's assume I have written any program, right? Or you have written any program, and you don't want to sell it on the market, right? You have written a program and you want, okay, I have written a program, take it, modify it, and run it, right? So Android is open source. So what this is the meaning of the open source, like you don't want to sell it, right? You want that people try my idea, modify their own, modify or implement or add their own idea in my program and use it. Like if you've seen the mobiles and the Android mobiles, you must be a seen, like we have Samsung devices, we have Nexus devices, we have LG, the devices of LG Micromaxes, right? So you have been seen, like in every devices there are some differences in the settings or in the UI. UI means user interfaces. User interface means what it means is the screen you see, if you are running a program, so you are going to tap a button, you are going to call, you are going to listen a song, so you tap on the interface. So we called it as a user interface, right? UI, right? So the screen you see in your, if you are running any application, or if you are using WhatsApp, then you are going to send a message to your friend. So you are typing something, you are pressing on the send, right? So this is the UI, user interface, right? So the interface from which user is going to interact with your application. So if you see the Samsung phone, if you see the Nexus phone, Nexus is the Nexus contains the core Android SDK, right? Because it is a phone designed by Google itself, right? So there is slight difference, because what Samsung does, or what the company does, they take the Android operating system and modify it according to their own use, right? So it may be possible that if you are using the phone and some functionality may not work on some phone, and some functionality should work on some phones, right? So it is open source, so company take it and modify it for their own devices, right? So Android was found back in 2003, right? Okay, so Android was found way back in 2003, right? So, and it was designed by these guys: Andy Rubin, Rich Miner, Nick Says, Chris, and they have started a company which has a name Android Inc, right? And it was a startup. So these guys designed this Android operating system, but at that time Android was not too matured, right? So Google purchased Android in 2005 for $50 million, right? And from that year and from till now, Google is working on the Android. So if you go to the Google has a Google has a project. They have a project which has name Android, right? So in Android, they have employed some good technical persons. Like they have a big team which are working on the uh, research. They have a good research team which they are still researching in Android, right? So Google has made it make it much mature, so that now it can we can compare Android with the high Apple phones, right? So this is the Open Handset Alliance. This is a group of company allows to use the open source code for Android and develop application. So it is a group of companies, right? So they allow, okay, take the Android as open source and use you or customize it for your own company, right? So if we talk about the feature of the Android, we have a features. If you play games, right? So nowadays we have games which, like, you play the car games, or if you have played the games like combat the combat games like the Dead Triggers, or there are many amazing games in Android. So you can see they have provided 3D graphics, right? Like you are moving with a gun, you are shooting from the gun, right? If you're or you are riding a car and you just get a nitro cylinder and car jumps from a river or jumps from the bridge, right? So they have given a 3D graphics, right? So nowadays our phone is so smart that it can uh, understand, like we like, or it can be managed the set of images which act like a 3D, right? So it is possible with the OpenGLES. This is a programming language used for the graphics, right? With 2D and the 3D graphics, and they have integrated browsers. If you use the browsers like Chrome, right? Android has a Chrome, so an SQLite. SQLite actually is a data source and data storage. If you have heard about the SQL or MySQL or Oracle, the set of they are the database programs or the database softwares. So in Android we have SQLite. They support the media. If you have used the MX player, then you have seen the MX player, or the VLC player is also there. These types of player is capable of playing many types of formats, format of the video. And nowadays phone also supports many type of images like PNG, GIF, JPG, right? AMR. And we have GSM telephony, like hardware dependency on it. So many things we have, and like NFC, Bluetooth, Edge, 3G, Wi-Fi. They have the devices. NFC has a near field communication. For the Bluetooth, for the Edge, 3G, and for the Wi-Fi, we have devices and a set of. Whenever I say devices, don't be confused, because in a field of mobility, we call phone as a device, or sometimes we call the phone's device, right? It means the Bluetooth device or the Wi-Fi device. So don't be confused with it. So if we talk about the NFC or the Bluetooth, so we have these types of devices in our phone: camera, GPS, compass, accelerometer. So we will discuss all of them, right? So we have a class for it. If they raise hand, I can't see them. Okay, so with the start, Android has their version 1.5, right? So when I started Android in 2000, in the beginning of 2010, and I started with Cupcake, and it was 1.5. Then we moved to Donut, Eclairs, Froyo, Gingerbread, Honeycomb, Ice Cream Sandwich, Jelly Beans, Kit Kat, Lollipop, and now we have Marshmallow. It's not written here. So now we have a Marshmallow, the 6.0, the latest version, right? So if you see the names, they are the names of uh, chocolate, jelly beans, right? Or the cakes. So I think they have a series of these names, right? Okay, now come back to the Android architecture. Okay, let's discuss from the bottom, right? So this is the Android structure, right? This structure means we start from the device operating system. So in the base, like we have divided it into 4 parts. First is the application frameworks, libraries. And third part, we have a libraries and Android runtime. We have a Linux kernel. Okay, let's start with the Linux kernel. So we have discussed about the Linux kernel, right? So we have discussed about what is the kernel is, and I think now you guys have cleared with the kernel. So and you have cleared with the Linux kernel as well. So in Linux kernel, in this level, which is operated by the Linux kernel, we have a display driver, keypad driver, camera driver, Wi-Fi driver, flash memory drivers. These are some of the drivers. We have many drivers, right? So uh, I'm not getting your question. Like Google says, it's a computer graphic rendering API, application programming interfaces. You can ask Anirudh. If you have any question, please ask.
No, actually, before in the chat they had asked that what is OpenGL? Is it a language? So I just Googled and gave
Okay.
this as what Google is.
Okay. So actually, OpenGL is a program. It's designed for the 2D and the 3D. So it is actually written in the C++, right? So you can use it to draw the graphics. For the simple graphic, if you want to draw the line and circle, so and the oval shape, so you can use the. This is possible in Android without use of OpenGL. But if you want to create a custom graphic, like if you want to design a game, so you have to use the OpenGL, right? Okay, so coming back to this Linux kernel, so we have these types of drivers, right? And these, whenever we say driver, means we have a device, right? It may be possible that we have a camera, right? So camera is a device, right? It is installed inside your phone. So someone is there who is going to run the camera, right? So like if you see here, and this is our operating system, then it may be possible that this is a camera, right? This is our camera, and there is a set of code written for the camera, right? Like whenever our kernel say, okay, open the camera, so the set of code which runs for the camera, right, which operates the camera, which is known as the camera driver. Similarly, when we on our Wi-Fi, then kernel instruct, okay, on the Wi-Fi. So there is a set of program who says our Wi-Fi, okay, please on the Wi-Fi, right? Similarly for the flash memory and audio drivers, right? If I think everybody has used the Windows operating system. There, if you have format your system, and you are like in our Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 10, we have this drivers installed with the operating system. But if you have used the XP, at that time we need to install the drivers, right, externally, the audio drivers or the graphic. If you are playing a game, so we need to install the drivers for the graphic, audio, and the video, right, or for the camera. So this is the base level where we have devices, right, Bluetooth, camera, Wi-Fi, and we have a kernel which is going to operate them, right? So any question in this level, Linux kernel?
Sir,
Yeah. Yes.
hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, One question that if we have a memory of 1 GB in our device,
Okay.
so you are telling that kernel itself has some memory allocated for itself, which is protected in that memory.
Mm-hmm.
So how much portion will it be allocating for itself? Like other memories are for the programs to for the OS to tell them how much memory it will take. So how much it will be taking, the kernel will be taking.
Yeah, it's depend on the system, like it's depend on the motherboard, like motherboard and the other device. It's not well defined that okay, take 13 MB or 14 MB. It depends on the manufacturer, and it depend on the company, like, so what size of the memory they are going to give to the kernel.
One more doubt.
Yeah.
I have. So the space taken by Linux and space taken by OS is different.
Okay, who's going to speak? Rakesh, you are saying something?
Yeah, the space actually, the storage space, memory space, which has been used for Linux and Linux kernel and OS. Is it are those different or of same type? Say suppose if it is 100 MB and let's say Linux kernel might take 100 MB. So is it considered included in OS space, or it is apart from OS space? I was sure.
Okay, you are asking that okay, the OS is going to take 100 MB memory and the Linux kernel is going to take 20 MB of memory, right? So
Yeah, I'm asking whether does that take different space, or is it like clubbed together or something like that?
no, it's the same memory space. The memory has been taken by the operating system. The Linux kernel is inside.
Okay, okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
so if we update our operating system, then does the Linux kernel also get updated?
No, if you update the operating system, Linux kernel is actually, this is installed on the bootable memory, right? So it will be there. If you flash your bootable, right, boot area, then it will then you have to install the kernel. I got my
But
point.
it can't be overwritten. No, it is a protected space.
Yeah, but if you are going to, this is a protected space and you can't be override, like any other program can't be accessed internally, right? But if you are going to root your phone and you want to flash the bootable area, right? By connecting it to the laptop, then it is possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now coming back to the Android architecture. So the third from the last is the library and Android runtime, right? So libraries in we have Surface Manager, Media Framework, SQLite, OpenGL, Free Type, WebKit, SSL, SGL, right? Libc. We have many other libraries as well. They are the some basics one. So what this library means, actually, we have these are the set of programs written in C and C++ other than the Java languages, right? So let's start. I will discuss some of them. Like I have tell you OpenGL ES. So this is a program, or this is a program written in C and C++, which enables or which provides us support of for the 2D and 3D images, right? Similarly, we have a Surface Manager. Actually, what the Surface Manager is, if we have open your camera, right? So in the screen, you see this is my camera. If this is my camera, right, and I on it, I start my camera from here. So it may be possible that I'm seeing this mountain, right? I will see like we will see what is behind the camera, right? So this is the surface. So if you move your camera to any direction, top, left, right, bottom, right? If you move your camera, then the view is going to render on the screen, right? This image will change. The next image will show, right? So someone is there who is going to capture the images from the camera, and someone is there who is drawing it on the surface of the camera, right? Because you are moving your camera, right? And if you see on the camera, you can see uh, the person, or you can see the surroundings, which is in the front of camera, right? But if you move your camera too fast, it may be possible that it's not going to capture every scene, right? So this is because it has some parts, right? Because camera is going to take the picture, and Surface Manager is there who is going to draw the surroundings on the top of your phone, right? So this is the Surface Manager. We will talk more about the Surface Manager in our camera class. Similarly, we have SQLite, right, which I have tell you, like while using the server coding, we have MySQL, we have Oracle databases. So in Android they have provided as SQLite, right? So SQLite is a set of code which is written for database programming, right? Similarly, we have a WebKit, right? SSL. So these are some programs which is known as libraries, and they are written in C or C++, and they are provided in the SDK to support these types of features, like for the 2D, 3D, or for the rendering the view on the camera, right? Media framework is there to support the media files, different format of the media files, right? Similarly, we have a WebKit, right? WebKit, like we have a Chrome browser, or we have Opera browser. So this is the library which support a WebKit. So these are the libraries. They are installed in the Android SDK, right? And they are installed in your phone as well. You will get, if you want to use this Surface Manager, or if you want to use this SQLite, there is a class provided by these libraries, but these libraries is available in Java. If I say my libraries are written in C or C++, but here in Android we are going to do code in Java, right? So here in Android we are going to code in Java. So let's assume I need to save data in SQLite. So it may be, so if I want to write a code, or if I want to access the SQLite, then it's not like I have to write the code in C, C++. They have provided us the APIs. Right? APIs means they have provided a handler. If I give you an example, if you want to switch on your fan or switch on your light in your phone, in a room, then it's not like if you want to switch on your AC, that's not like you just buy a wire and you just connect the wire inside the AC and put it and create electricity, right? We just simple tap the switch, AC is on, right? So we don't care what is installed inside the AC, what is installed inside what is inside the wiring, right? So we have a switch. So in a similar way, they have provided us a switch which is known as the API, right? And these APIs are written in the Java. Right? So if you want to save any data on the SQLite, an SQLite database, you have a library, you can use it through Java libraries. So they have provided, okay, you want to save a data inside the database, use this class, or so these are known as the API. Similarly, if you want to use a surface manager, right? So actually surface manager is written in C, C++, and you want to access it through your own code, then a surface manager has provided switches, or you can say that APIs, or you can say that handlers, which are written in Java and through which we can handle the surface manager. Got this point? Any question?
Sir, can we also write a library?
Yes, you can write a
Yes.
library.
Okay.
We can write a library. Android supports the C and C++ as well. If you want to write your own library in a C and C++, you can write the code, and we can run this code with the help of JNI. In Java, we have a JNI, so you can use a JNI to run this code. Or in Android, we have NDK, right? So NDK is a set of NDK SDK is there.
Okay.
Any other question?
Library a protected space? No.
Sorry?
Is it a protected space, libraries? Is it
No,
protected in the memory?
No, it's not protected in the memory.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now let's come to the Android runtime, right? So, who's going to tell me the answer?
Sir, one question.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Ask.
Sir, like we can see on the screen that it's Linux kernel, libraries, application framework, Android runtime. These all things carry some part of the memory.
Yeah, they all
Hello.
use some part of the memory.
Okay, so when we run a program or any software on the device, so these memories like that software takes the RAM portion of the memory, or these memories or these library and kernel and this application framework also take the memory for itself to get.
Okay, so like in our modern programming or the modern compiler, you can say that the modern operating system, every programs run in or execute at runtime, right? So it's a dynamic binding. So whenever we say dynamic binding, it means camera is there, camera driver is there, right? And camera driver, on the top of camera driver, we are going to run the surface manager, but it will run only when we are open our camera, right? Similarly, we have a set of program. So any program will run when it is required, right? And it will run on the RAM, right? And uh, and when it's stopped, so it will get cleared from the RAM. Got my point?
Okay.
Okay, so tell me what is Varun. Okay, Varun, tell me what is a virtual machine. Okay, Akshay, can you tell me what is a virtual machine?
Hello.
Yeah. Can you tell me what is virtual machine?
Virtual machine is something which is not in front of us. It's physically present somewhere, but we can access it anywhere with something credential.
Okay. Okay. So actually, virtual machine, as the name describe, there is a machine which is a virtual, right? So virtual machine is a set of program which act as a operating system or which act as a machine itself, and which run it or which is responsible for running another programs, right? So if you say if you have used the Java, we have JVM, Java Virtual Machine, right? So JVM is responsible for compiling the code and responsible for creating the bytecode, which is with the help of JRE and JDK, and which is machine independent, right? So the if we talk about the virtual machine, so this is a set of code which act as a machine itself inside your system, right? And if I talk in respect of the Java and Android, uh, let's start with the Java. This is my laptop, right? Here I'm going to write the code. Android, right? My Android is in my Android is Java, right? Because it Android, the Android SDK is written in the Java. In my machine, or you can say that in my laptop, I have installed JDK with JRE, right? So I have written the code in Java, right? And I'm going to run it in my laptop, and I'm going to run it in my phone. This is my phone or mobile, Android mobile. Okay, so there are two parts. I'm not going to write my code in my phone, right? I'm going to write my code in my laptop. So in my laptop, I have written a code in Java. I have a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So this JVM is responsible for creating the bytecode. Simple. I have written a code in Java, right? In my laptop, this runs, right? Who runs it? JVM runs it. Java Virtual Machine runs it. Like I have written a class file, and my class file is a normal .java file, right? So someone is there who is capable of understanding it, or who is capable of reading it. So my JVM is the right person who is going to read my class and who is going to create a bytecode of it, right? So I think you all have know the Java well, right? Because in Android, knowing Java is compulsory, right? So we have Java, and in our operating system or in my laptop, I have written Java, and JVM is going to convert it in a bytecode. This process is happens in my laptop. Now come to my mobile. Now what it does when we run our program, right? The first step is Java, JVM, and bytecode. Then the second step is comes starts in the mobile, inside a mobile. Now mobile had DVM, Dalvik virtual machine, which mobile has a DVM which is known as a Dalvik virtual machine, and this bytecode is given to the Dalvik virtual machine, right? So any question, guys? When you have a buzzing sound, I think the sound is not clear. Okay.
I have a doubt.
Yeah, ask.
Uh, so basically, the performance of JVM and DVM are same in general.
No, not same. Like this Java is going to, like in our machine, like in my laptop, JVM is going to create a bytecode from my Java file, and we give this bytecode to the DVM, Dalvik virtual machine, and Dalvik virtual machine will create a Dalvik bytecode. Now this Dalvik bytecode is understandable by is going to use by the phone itself. This is what you are asking.
So in general, uh, JVM takes the Java file and converts to bytecode, whereas the DVM takes the actual bytecode of JVM and converts to Dalvik bytecode. So
Right.
in general, both are doing the same operations, right?
Yeah, they both are doing, as they both are the virtual machines, so they both are doing the same thing, but uh, this is going to create a bytecode, and is going to create a Dalvik bytecode from the
Dalvik.
bytecode. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Venu Gopal, if you have any question, yeah, you can write it on the chat. I think your sound is not clear, so it was a just buzzing sound was there on the background. If you have any question, then you can write on the chat. I will see. Okay, so this is the process of. Can see my question. Yeah, Dalvik bytecode actually is a bytecode which is generated by the Dalvik virtual machine. See, actually JVM create a bytecode which is a machine independent, but actually bytecode uh, is too heavy to run in a mobile. So it converted according to the machine, like Android machine, right? Because JVM is going to actually JVM is not so designed for the mobiles because it is going to take much more memory, and in our mobile we have a limitation in the limitation in the memory, right? So they have designed the Dalvik virtual machine, which is going to take less memory, right? And which will create a Dalvik bytecode which is more specific to the mobile itself. Clear? JVM actually run the bytecode, it's not create a bytecode. Yeah, the bytecode actually generated by the virtual machine, right? The Java virtual machine, and this bytecode is returned to the Dalvik virtual machine, right? Yeah, it's a Java compiler which create the bytecode, but what the compiler is, right? It is a virtual machine, and you get the compiler inside the JVM, I think so. See, yes, JVM is specific to the machine to run the bytecode, but see, actually, compiler is not going to create a bytecode directly, right? It creates a created in a machine language, right? It is create a machine. If you see what actually JVM does, it interprets and translates bytes code into the native machine code, right? But what finally I want to say is after compiling it, right? After compiling it, it is going to return you the bytecode. So I'm not going to go in that much deep because it will confuse many of us. So if we say like our JVM, what it does, actually it interprets and translates the bytecode into the native machine, right? and we have a just-in-time compiler, right? So what the just-in-time compiler does, it compiles a given bytecode instruction, right? And the instruction is the machine code, right? And it do its at runtime, right? Got my point? Yeah. So it's actually, if you say, so it's a main purpose to do heavy optimization in the performance, right? Okay, so coming back to the topic, we have a bytecode, right? Dalvik bytecode, which is created by the DVM, Dalvik virtual machine, right? And you can say that this is a DAX file, d.txt file. Got my point? So any other question, or I will move to the next topic. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. So with Dalvik virtual machine, we have a core libraries as well, right? So core libraries are nothing. They are the libraries they are the supportive libraries which are written and which will work at the runtime, right? So so it includes in the runtime, right? So it's a similar type of, it is similar to these libraries. So this is a specific libraries defined for a specific purpose. So this core libraries actually initiate at the runtime to support the compiling and other things, right? Okay. Okay, so coming back to the Android architecture, we have second topic, which is known as, second level, which is known as application framework, right? So this is our application framework, and you can say that this is our, Android SDK. Simply, this is our Android SDK, in which we will get the activity manager, Windows manager, content provider, view system. There are many of them, so some of them are written here. So this is actual layer in which we are going to work. We are not going to work on these two layers, right? We are not going to directly work on this two layer. We have interfaces or handler to work with it, but we have an application framework. On this layer we are going to work, right? So simply say this is our Android SDK, right? And from here we are going to call, we are going to code, right? We are going to use the activity manager, package manager. These are the classes, modules, right? The parts where we code. And at the top of it we have applications like home, contacts, phone, browser, application. Because we are going to create an application, we have a contacts, right? So we have a contact application, and what the contact application is, contacts. If you have your phone, so you can see you have a contact, you search the contact, you make a call, right? So actually contact is an application, right? And this application has been created with the application framework with these classes like activity, Windows manager. If you have a WhatsApp, you have a Facebook, right? You have many applications installed in your phone. So these all applications are created with these SDKs. So this is the two levels where we are going to work, or you can say we are going to code in this application framework level. And when we code, when we create the application, this is the first, right? So now come back to the point. Now, if you have a phone, you have an application, right? These are the application. So these applications are written in this application framework, right? with the help of these modules or with the help of these classes. Inside these classes, we have libraries which support uh, these classes, right? This application framework, and at the lower level we have a Linux kernel, right? We have a machine, so we are writing a code on the machines, right? So this is the architecture of Android. So guys, any question on it, or I move forward?
So we basically work only on application framework, right? We don't actually go into, we are not going to alter any of the library functions or Linux kernel. We only work on application framework only, right?
Right, we will only work on application framework. Yes, we will go on the libraries, SQLite, the Service Manager, or we will use the camera and the Wi-Fi, but we are not going to directly use it. We have a handler, like we have APIs which enables us to use them, right?
Okay.
Got my point?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's move forward. So these are the definition written here. I think we have completed it. So after creating the application, you are going to create a file, APK file, right? And you are going to publish it in the Play Store. So actually we have a Play Store. You see, if you search the Google, so we have a Google Play Developer Console. From there, from here you can create, you can upload your APK file to the uh, Google Play Store, right? So these have some steps. So you need to buy this if you want to put your APK in. So they have some agreements also. So coming back to the point, if you want to upload application to the Google Play Store, you need to purchase the, you need to register, and it costs you $25. And this $25 is forever. Like it's not if you are going to purchase a account for publishing the app in the Apple, like for the Apple phones, then it will require $99 per year. But here in Android, it's only $25 and it's free for lifetime. Okay, and this is the URL. If you click it, this will open, right? So I think everybody has seen this Google Play Store. Actually, Google Play Store, which you get in your phone, is also an application, right? So what it does, when you search a application, it will go to its database and download the APK file, right? In Android, when we run our application, it will create a .apk file, and this .apk file is going to install in your phone, right? So nowadays Android is not only in your phone, and we have Android watches, right? And we have a Android SDK for the watches. If you search the Google, I will get the SDK. That this is the same SDK which you get in your Android Studio, which is a M preview, right, or the L preview. And we have on the laptop, we have on the printer, we have on the car, right? We have on the micro oven. So this is the operating system, so you can install the device. You can install the operating system anywhere, right? So this is the Android structure, project structure. I will show you here. So I'm going to start the last topic. So in Android, we are going to create the application in the framework, and the framework is known as Android Studio. Right, Android Studio. And you can easily get from the developers site. Right. So if I'm downloading it for the Windows, if you want to download it for the Mac or the Ubuntu, like the Linux, you can do it, right? So download Android Studio for Windows, download it, run it, right? It will ask you to, you should have good internet speed, otherwise it will take much more time, because when you download it first time, it is going to download the SDK as well, right? So if you need any help, you can check it from these links, or it's simple. It's not a big deal to download the Android Studio, and like you have to download the Android Studio. Next, do the next, right? Other thing, it will ask you to download the SDKs, right? SDK, and if you need any help, if you are not able to install the Android Studio, you can write it. You can put or drop a mail to the AcadGlit support, right? They will answer this question, right? If anybody of you have any question regarding to this, you can drop a mail to the support team. If they are not able to resolve it, if they are not going to resolve it, then I will help you to resolve these points. Okay. Which SDK? We have Android SDK, right? Yeah, we have Android SDK. When you download the Android Studio, it is going to download the SDK. Okay, 8 or 23 API level. You are talking about the API level. So I suggest you to work on 23, the latest one. But I also suggest you to work from the API level 19 to 23, right? So you should have the latest one, but you should know the old one as well, because in market nowadays, in market we have API level we have a devices from API level 19 to API level 23, right? So how much Android Studio is different from Eclipse? Yeah, it is different from the Android. Android Studio is something slightly different from the Eclipse, right? So it is the same. We have the same functionalities. We are going to run the code. We have a debug, right? But it has some more features there, right? And it has a Gradle, it has a Maven building tool, right? We will discuss what the Gradle and the Maven tools are. So it's not if you have used the Eclipse, then it's not a big task. You can easily get it. Yes, everyone will be able. So let's create Android. Let's create an Android application. Yes, you. Okay. So yes, you can run the Eclipse code over Studio. But Studio only supports the Android, because in Eclipse you can write the Java and other codes, other languages also. But in Studio you can write Android only in Android Studio, right? So let's start Android Studio. I have installed Android Studio. It will take some time to start.
We need this, right? Android Studio for the rest of our course.
Yeah, you need to install it.
Okay.
Yeah, when you install it, the latest version will install by default. Okay, so I'm going to create a new project. So whenever you need to create a new project, just go on the new, go to the file, go to new project. See, first is application name. Here you can create any application. This is a by default name. My application, you can change it to any other name. This is the company domain. See, every application we create is created by an application, created by a company, or because if you are going to create an application that it's like it's obvious there you are going to create for a company or you are going to sell it, or it may be possible that you are going to create for your own, right? So in any case, you have to give the domain name here, right? So it's not necessary that you have to give the domain name. It's just a convention to put a domain name here, right? You can put XYZ also, right? But it's a convention that write a domain name, like if I have a company, I calculate dot co dot in, right? Co dot, yeah, academic.com, right? You can write any company domain. It's just for a convention and it's for you only, right? And this the domain you are going to give here is it's going to, I will show you it in manifest file. So keep it. So remember it that we have written a company domain. I will show you where it is going to show in the manifest file, and in a file there we have a file name as a manifest. I will show you. So for this point, for this point, let it be like we are going to give a company domain, right? And the company domain is a catalog.com, or if you want to give any other name, just give it. This is a project location, so I am going to use this project location. If you want to change the project location, just click here and select any drive and create a project for you on that location. Okay, press next. It is asking for the API label. So we have 23, 21, 20. So it's on you. Let's create it for the 6.0 Marshmallow. It will ask you, okay, you want to create a project for tablet, phone, or you want to create it for the wear. Wear, it means it may be watch, Android watches, or the Google glasses, or you want to create it for the Android TV or Android Auto. So I'm going to create it for the phone and tablet, right? So next, it will ask you to select any template. These are the template, right? So if you want to create this type of screen, then this is a template, and what the template mean, some of code will written automatically by the Android Studio. You don't need to write some classes, right? Some classes will automatically write for you. So you can select any one. Okay, I'm going to select this one, navigation drawer activity. But in a start, we will use the empty or the blank activity, because this template will contain much classes, so it will hard for you to understand it. But let's start with this navigation activity driver, right? I just want to show how it's look. Okay, press next. It is asking me for the activity name and its layout, its title. we will discuss about the activity, what the activity is. So no, you can choose the minimum SDK as well. I just put the max, the latest one. You can choose the lower SDKs as well. Yeah, you can reverse the package name also. It's not an issue. Okay, so this is the activity name. For now, let's understand it like this is the first screen which is going to be launched, and its name is activity, main activity. This is its layout, right? So here in Android, we are going to design the layout in XML. So this is the layout name. We will get to know once you start coding in Android. So now finish it. So this has been created. So let's talk about the project structure, right? So this is the main application folder. This is the manifest. This is the Java file. This is the resource file. Let's start from the top. We have a manifest file. So the manifest file is a file where we declare the properties of the application. See, this is the activity, right? In the activity tag, we have written, okay, I have a main activity installed. So in Android, we have 4 components. The first component is activity, second is content provider, services, and broadcast receiver, right? So if we are using any of this component, you need to define it on the manifest file. Treat it like if you have installed an application from the Play Store, then you have seen like before installing the application, it will ask you the question like you accept it or not, and the dialog it is written here that this application is going to use your internet, your phone connection, or this application is going to write something on you're going to use the your writable memory area, right? So who is going to read it? How the Play Store got to know that okay, the application which which he is going to install is going to use your phone's these features inside your phone, right? So we write everything here in the manifest file. Assume if I am going to use my application is going to use internet, right? So in this case, I have to use the permission here, user permission, right? See, these are the permission. If you are going to use the network, if you are going to see the network state, like whether network you are connected to the internet or not, you are going to use the Wi-Fi, you are going to use the GPS like for the access core location, find location, right? There are many other things here. If you are going to use the Bluetooth, body sensors, camera, right? So if you are going to use these features, if you are going to access any hardware in your phone, then you need to define it in the manifest file, right? Let's call any one of them. Right here I have written I have a permission to use the access find location. It means I have access find location means I can use a GPS device, right? Because GPS is responsible for getting the location of phone, right? Or I am using this activity, so I have written the activity here because I have, let's see, in the Java file I have a manifest file. Sorry, I have an activity file which is going to extend a class, a app compact activity. So I have defined this on the my manifest, right? So you can say it as a this is a file which contain the information about your application. Information are maybe a permission, right, that you are going to use this hardware, or it may be the name of the component which you are going to write in the right here, right? And the component may be activity. We have other component as well, like I'm going to use a service, so you can write a service here, you can write a receiver here, right? So let's keep it with the activity. So it's simple. See the definition. So written here, Android manifest act as a metadata for Android application. So what is a metadata? Metadata means the information about the information, right? So this contain the information about these data, right? Or you can say that the information about the data, right? And what the data is actually information. Yeah, activity is in a class and it is a component of the Android. For now, just zoom it as a class which is responsible for showing you a screen. Every activity, if you are seeing a screen on the phone, then it means it is activity. If you are going to see a different screen, another screen, this is a different activity, right? So activity, so it's a big topic. Activity will take your 2 hours. So in the next class we have to discuss about the activity. But for the meanwhile, let's understand it as a screen, right? So every activity is responsible for a screen. So guys, any question from the manifest? Okay, so moving forward, we have the Java folder. In Java folder, we have the don't use this test one, Android test. This is self-created and this is used for the JUnit testing. So we are not going to use it. So use this one, my application, right? This is the default package which is created by the application, and this is the package, default package, com.acritglit.myapplication created by. This package is a unique package, right? If you are going to upload your application in Play Store and any other application is available on the Play Store with the same package name, then it does not allow you to install the or upload the application in the Play Store. It means in your phone, if you have 100 applications, those all 100 applications should have different package name. The package name written in this manifest file, the base package name, This will act. This is act as a key for a application inside a phone. So operating system, if operating system searches going to search any application inside your phone, then this package name will act as a key, right? So coming back to this, I have a Java com.my application. So this is created by default. So this is activity file and the Java code written here. We will discuss them. So this is activity file, and this class, this is responsible for creating a UI, right? So every Java file, when we have to write the Java file on this Java folder. If we want to create a Java file, tap here in this package, new Java class, right? See, test Java, right? Similarly, if you want to create another package, this is a package. This is known as a package. So this package is created to identify the application, right? Like if you have some modules, like if your application is going to download some you have your application has a download feature, chatting feature, and you want to keep the classes separate, so you can use them in a package. So you can keep them in a different package just for just for minimize the complexity. So this is a Java folder. Now coming back, this we have a resource folder. In a resource, we have a folder name as a drawable, right? We have a folder name as a layout. You have a folder menu, map. It may be possible that instead of map, and it may be possible that in your system it is written as drawable SDPI or drawable LDPI. So they both are the same. We have a values. So actually we have a resource folder. What it means, in your application you are going to create a view, like a user interface, and you are going to use images, you are going to use the audio file. It may be possible that tap a button, you want to play a video, play a sound. So you can put all of them in this resource file. Simply say, in resource file we have to keep the resources of our application, right? Resources means they are not the code, they are not the Java code, right? They are the XML, right? You can see this as the layout. And if we talk about the layout, we have a layout file. Just see, let's see how it's look. This is a layout file, right? This is the screen. And this is designed with the help of these XMLs, right? So in Android, we can design the user interface with the help of XML, right? So we will see this on our next topic, how to design the XML and how to design the layout. I'm just showing you the structure of the application. So this is the menu, right? So we have a map, we have a values. We will talk about them. So in simple word, resource is the files other than the Java files, which we put it on the resource folder, right? So it's not like you are going to create a folder with any name. The folder which you are going to create here, Android resource directory, they are defined here, right? So you can only create a folder with these names: Emulator, color, interpolator, raw, right? If you want to create a raw file, create a raw folder here, right? If I want to put any file inside the raw, then I can put it. Let us assume I want to put this file in my raw folder, right? Just copy it, put it inside my raw. Got it? We want to put any image here. This is the images. These are the images which are in the map folder. So just install the Android Studio, just play through it, right? We have a Gradle file. So this is the most important which you have to understand. Before telling the Gradle file, I will tell you this one. If you want to start the application, if you want to run it, just select it, press it here. See this Gradle build running. Okay, it will take some time to run. So let's discuss about the Gradle. Actually, we have a Gradle file here, and this Gradle file actually used to build the project. Whenever I say build the project, it means we have manifest file, we have Java files, we have resource file, right? So these building tools like Gradle and Maven, we have a Maven also, but in Android, but here we are going to use the Gradle, right? So Gradle file, Gradle is actually a building tool, and whenever I say a building tool, it means it is a program which creates a build of your application, right? Which build all this thing and create a build for you, right? So Gradle has run my create a build. Now it is asking to launch a virtual device. So I have a virtual device. I have created a virtual device Nexus 5 API level 21, right? If you want to create a virtual device, okay, let's run this, then I will show you how to create a virtual device. We want to create a virtual device. See, virtual device means we have is also known as the emulator. We have an emulator, and no, it's not create a APK. Gradle just build the application, right? It runs all the things. APK is not created by the Gradle. So, we are going to if you want to create a device, virtual device. So what I was telling? Okay, I'm telling you the virtual devices, right? So we have a virtual device here. Virtual device means we have a Android device. You can also run this application in a Android device. See, this is a virtual device, right? So this is a virtual. This is similar to the device, which the Android device, right? So, and they have provided a virtual device for you known as an emulator, right? And you can run your program here, or even if you want to run the program directly in your phone, so just connect your phone with Android phone in the laptop, right? And you have to on this debugger version, developers option. So if you don't have a developer option on your mobile, just go to the about phone, right? And you have to press on the build number. Tap on the build number, I think 5-6 times, right? Go to the settings, go to the about phone, tap on your build number 5-6 times, then it will show you a message. You are 2 steps or 3 steps from a developer option. Then it will on a option, and when you come back, you will see there is a one more option known as a developer option. Then go to the developer option and on it. Then you can run your program inside your phone. Yeah, it says 7 times or 5 times. Tap on it. It may be vary. Like in some phone, it is a 5 time or 7 time. So, or if you want to run on the Android devices, virtual device, you can run it here. Open it. Yes. It is saying that I don't have a emulator with support Marshmallow. So I just changed the version to 19. So if you want to create an emulator, just go here, AVD Manager. Yeah. Yes, you have to use the USB debugging. Okay. So if you want to on this, go to the device manager, tools, Android, AVD manager, right? Or you can get it from the here. If it is not showing here, go to the tool, Android, AVD manager, right? It will show you the list of. Now on your Android Studio, you will not get a list, right? You need to create a virtual device. Go create on the create virtual device. Select any one of them. Select phone, and these are some of the devices which has been created for you, like Nexus as Nexus 1, Nexus 6P, right? Nexus 5, Nexus 4. Select any one of them, press next. It will create a device for you, right? And whenever you're going to run the application, just click here. It will show you a prompt, and select your device from there, and it will run it, right? See, it is asking me no minimum SDK. I have to change the minimum SDK here. Just go. If you change this, like it is by default, it is selected as an Android. If you change it to the project, it will show like this. Packages, then it will show like this. See this, right? I'm using it as a project. So with time, we will get to know what these things are, right? So don't be afraid. So this is my application app. If you select the project, so it will show like it. If you select it as Android, show you like this. I'm going to select the project. Now app is here. Go to the SRC, right? If you select the project, it will show you like this application, and my Java file is in my main folder. Main, right? This is the Java, right? And my build file is here. Build.gradle file is here. So here you can see the compile SDK version. I have asked okay 23. Build version tool this, right? Minimum SDK 23. Minimum SDK make it 19. Right? So see here, the configuration is written here. Build release type, dependencies, everything is written here. So it is asking me for okay sync now, because I have changed it to 23 to 19. Now it's asking me to sync it. When I do sync, it will initialize the build, Gradle build again. right? It will create a build for you. Now the build is created. The Gradle build is running. Run it. Okay, so the message is not showing here. The error message which was showing on the previous run. So you have time, like today is Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days are there. So it's enough time to install the Android Studio, right? To create a sample application, to go through the Android architecture, and I will suggest you to read the activity, right? Create an application, play with it, right? If you have any question, then drop the mail to the support team. They will answer it, and if they not answer it, I will help you. So this is our application, right? We have used a default template. So click here, right? This is going to show you this. Click here. Right? This floating button is introduced on the Marshmallow new version, like you have seen in the Gmail as well. No, not in Marshmallow. They have introduced on the Lollipop. So with with every new version, they update it with the new views and the new features, right? And they resolve the bugs and everything. So this is the user interface. These are the views. When I started the coding, so I think this slider they are now provided in the template. At that time, we need to create it by our own. So it was a big task to create this slider, right? So, but now they have given it in the template. Okay, guys. So I have completed it. I think I have completed, and I have taken much more time. I think. Okay, it's going to be 11:30. So guys, actually programming is like a mathematics, right? So more you do, more you gain. So keep coding, right? If you stop, like now you are in a field of programming, like you are going to be a software engineer. So keep on coding. More you code, more you understand the things, right? So I suggest you to, if you are reading a topic, right? If you're reading any topic, then don't only read it, make some application demo project examples on it, right? And try to understand it and play with it, right? Write your own code, right? Try to change it, customize it, so you will learn like the style of the coding, right? And you will get the actual meaning of the classes and the views, right? So our the next session is interface designing. So next three, okay, next three classes are on the interface designing. So I will suggest you to read activity and user interface designing, revise this. You have 4 days, right? 4 days are enough. So read this, so it will be easy to you to understand the next topic like activity. So from the next classes, we are going to create the application, and I will let you know more about the Android Studio, right? Yeah, I want you to do the assignments. You should have to do every assignments, right? Maybe that uh, I can ask you to show the assignments on the next class.
Will this session be recorded and sent to us by email?
No, no. Actually, sir, this is automatically recorded to the cloud. After 1 or 2 hours, you will get a link on your dashboard.
Okay, okay, thank you. So I can refer to it again, right? Like I can watch this whole class again.
Yes, yes, you can refer to it.
Okay.
So the assignment is, so the first assignment is to create an Android application and run it in Android AVD. So I will have shown you how to run it in the Android AVD, right? Yes, you can get help from the support team. If you get stuck in any assignments, like assignment is for you guys, right? For you, you should have play with the assignments. Try to do it by your own. But if you stuck in any problem, like if you are not able to install anything, or if you are not getting the meaning of any classes or any concept, you can ask the support team, but they will not help you to solve your assignments, right? The assignment is for you, but they will help you for any problem. And I think the next assignment is next two assignments are similarly, like we have a AVD which is installed in the uh, here in the Android Studio. We have external AVDs as well, name as a BlueStacks or the Genymotion, right? So install these tools. Google it. I will show you the Genymotion. Genymotion Studio. They are also the virtual devices, but they are the third-party virtual devices. Third-party virtual devices, it means they are not the part of Android Studio. They are developed by any other company, and they are similar to it. Right? So go there and download the Genymotion. It's a software, so install it, right? So when you install it, or you can use BlueStack. You can download it from the other website also, right? It's a software. So you can install the BlueStacks as well, or the Genymotion. When you run your application from here, a list will be shown. And in a list, you will get, like you are getting this emulator, this one. You are getting this device in a list. If you install Genymotion or BlueStack, then you will start the emulator of this third party software. Then you will get the list there, Genymotion and the stack, BlueStack. Or even you have connected your phone, right, and you have on the developer option and USB debugging. You have on the USB debugging. Then your phone will show here. So your assignments are, you have to create an application, run it on the emulator, run it on the Genymotion, BlueStack, or any one of them, Genymotion or BlueStack, and most important, run it on your phone. Okay. So guys, I'm going to close the session. Any question? No, you don't need to add the BlueStack to the emulator. BlueStack is an emulator, right? Like this emulator, BlueStack is also a emulator, but it is not inside your Android Studio. It is a third-party software. Got it? Okay. No, you don't have to submit the assignment. Complete your assignments. Whenever I will ask, whenever I ask to show the assignment, you have to share your screen. You have to run the program in your emulator and show it to me, just like I'm showing it to you. Then at that time, you have to show it to me. Okay, you have. It may be possible that it's not showing on your list. I will give you a command for it. If you have a BlueStack and it's not showing on your emulator list, so when you install the Android Studio, right? So go to the C users, right? From, in your case, it may be the name of your operating system. You have to run this command. Got my point? Copy this because after ending the session, you will not able to get this lines. So copy this line if you want to. Okay, so because actually these are the virtual machines, right? So it may be possible sometimes system not the emulator is not going to show the virtual machine, so it's need to reconnect to the local host, and by default the local host for the Android Studio is 55555. Okay, any other question? No, if you want, you can download both of them, right? Or I will suggest to download both of them. Just play with it. They both three are the same, right? Simulator, Genymotion, BlueStack. They are the virtual machine, but yes, Genymotion and the BlueStack, they have some more functionality as comparison to the default emulator provided by the Android Studio. No, you don't need to buy it. These are the free softwares. It may be possible that they will ask you to download some application. So download them. Right, so you can get it from here. So it's a free. Google it, you will get it easily. It's a free software, right? Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Good night. I'm closing the session. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Good night, sir.
Good
Bye.
night, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
Good, thank you.